are ready for kickoff here in Miami, and you're going to see some new faces in new places for this Denver secondary today. That, of course, because Aqib Talib, the four-time Pro Bowler, suspended after that fight with Michael Crabtree last week. Because of that, Bradley Roby's going to get the start, and he's going to go from a third down guy to an every down corner with run responsibilities. Roby told me yesterday certainly had to prepare a little bit different for the start, but guys, full of confidence. He told me his goal in today's game is to get a pick six. So let's see if he can call his shot, Dick.
Let's see if he can, Shannon. Man, he'll be tested early because Denver winning the toss to Furs, and the Dolphins will get the ball first. Brandon McManus gets the game underway. Sonoris Perry returns from a yard in the end zone for Miami. And Perry is ridden out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line by Deontrez Mount. So here is Jay Cutler, who last played in the first half against the Bucs 2 weeks ago, cleared concussion protocol, and he was an 11th pick by the Denver Broncos. And the Dolphins are 4-5 when Cutler has started this year.
Really good with the ball, great arm talent, want to get him into a rhythm early, short passing game, short sets, get him outside the pocket some today, look for those things as Miami tries to establish their offense.
Starting from the 19. Handoff is to Kenyon Drake, and he doesn't get anything as Adam Gotsis makes the tackle. The Miami Dolphins offense, they come into the game, Mark, 30th in scoring in the league, just under 16 points a game. That's not very good.
No, it is not, and they've had struggles with their offensive line, a revolving department store door, everybody playing different positions. They've got to get some continuity up front to attack this Denver defense.
Second down and 9 with 3 wide receivers lined up to the left. And Cutler swinging out of the backfield. Here's Drake. He shakes the tackler and finally gets out of bounds at about the 23. Will Parks, a safety. The Denver Broncos defensively, they're the only team to rank in the top 5 in run and pass, but they're shorthanded today on defense.
They are shorthanded, and this is a roster that's very talented, but they have given up the big play.
And they go to Jarvis Landry, and he'll get the first down. Out on the flat, Landry tackled by Chris Harris, the cornerback, after getting 7 yards. And so it's a hurry-up offense for the Dolphins.
You see the hands right there. That's red ball, which we used to call when Jay Cutler puts his fingers together. Hey, guys, let's get on some tempo here. Let's get rolling. Let's make sure we tire out this defense, not used to this kind of humidity.
First down at the 30. Landry has been prolific in the first 4 years of his career. Play action to Drake. Cutler stepping up and on the run. Pass is incomplete, intended for Kenny Stills and covered by Bradley Roby.
And Bradley Roby right there, the guy that's coming in on first downs and second downs, replacing Aqib Talib. You see him on the deep in-cut crossing route, plays that, keeps great outside leverage on top shoulder right here, and then cuts underneath there to make the pass breakup. Excellent job, Roby's first opportunity in replacing Aqib Talib.
He started the last 2 games as the nickel corner, but starting this one for Talib. It'll be 2nd and 10. Cutler, and he completes the pass out to Julius Thomas, and the former Bronco tight end, shy of the first down. Darian Stewart, the free safety, making the play. 2 minutes gone by and a gain of 9. And it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Number 71 reports as eligible. Number 71 is eligible.
Zach Sterup has come in as an extra offensive lineman for the Dolphins. 3rd down and 1 on the 39.
Got a 2 tight end offense here, heavy personnel for the Dolphins.
And jumping on the line, and it looks like it's against the Broncos. Trying to anticipate the snap count.
Number 92, defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And the penalty is on Zach Kerr, who's playing nose tackle. Domata Peko has his 123 consecutive game streak snapped.
These are the kind of things you just can't have happen right here. You've got to hold your water. You understand you're getting your start, you're getting your opportunity. You want to make a play, but come on, hold your water. Make sure you stay in there for the entire snap count.
And that gives the Dolphins a first down, a costly penalty against the Broncos. And here is Drake looking for room on the left side. And he's going to be tackled after a gain of a couple of yards by Shaquille Barrett.
Kenyon Drake, just a talented physical guy, great quickness, replacing Damian Williams in the passing game. That's a little bit of a drop off, and they want to use him in that passing game. Not as good a route runner, but he's a physical guy with speed, and he can run you over.
He has the only rushing touchdown for the Dolphins this year, a 66-yard scamper against Carolina. It'll be second down and 8. Play fake, and the pass up the middle, and Landry makes the catch into Bronco territory at the 42-yard line, and a first down and a gain of 12. So talk about a lot of the players and changes in the lineup. So a Bronco guard is out. We mentioned Pecco and Talib Leary, the right guard. The Dolphins are missing Damian Williams, who is out with a shoulder injury. Their starting right guard, Jerome Bushrod, and Matt Moore, the backup quarterback. So David Fales is the backup for Cutler today. It'll be a first down at the 42. And here is Drake. And Drake shakes a tackler and gets yarded down the sideline. A flag is down. And ridden out of bounds is Drake. But we'll see what the penalty is. Our first of the game. Second.
Holding, number 51, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So a 17-yard run by Drake, and a pretty one, nullified by a holding penalty against the center, Mike Pouncey.
Mike Pouncey right here in the center of the screen, and he's going to get the reach block as he comes around. Look at the hands outside and just takes him down. You've got to understand, you already have the guy blocked. There's no sense in taking a guy to the ground. That's what they call. Holding's fine. Just make sure you don't hold what they do call. And that was one that they're going to call 100% of the time.
And it sends it back to the 48 of the Dolphins. First down and 20. Stepping up is Cutler, and he goes down after picking up a couple of yards. And it's Von Miller, the man you mentioned, is going to be the man that the Dolphins will have to be aware of. It'll be a 1-yard pickup.
And here's the thing you're going to watch. As he stops right here, he gets to the depth of the quarterback. Look at him work back inside. He understands these depth of drops. Is it a 3-step? Is it a 5-step? Is it a 7-step? When I get to that depth, now I'm going to work myself back inside and pressure the quarterback. Excellent recognition by 58.
And here is Drake cutting upfield. He gets by one tackler as Todd Davis tried to bring him down, and a couple of yards. Von Miller, he is the ace, and as Adam Gase said, we have not played anyone like him. He is the one guy who matters. And since 2010, he's one sack behind Cameron Wake, who's operating on the other side of the ball for the Dolphins.
Those are sick Hall of Fame numbers right there by Von Miller.
Third down and 16 at the 47 of Denver. Out of the backfield is Drake. And Todd Davis wraps him up at the 42-yard line.
And that's one of the things for the Broncos. They're going to be a 90% man team. They're going to lock you up in man and try to cover you that way. But when you see a third down and 16, you see depth. You saw 2 high safeties. You're going to see them play zone, ask you to throw it in front of them, and see if they can rally up and make a tackle.
Isaiah McKenzie, the rookie from Georgia, back deep as Matt Hawk will be kicking. Punting situation for the Dolphins.
He's fumbled 5 times on the season, Dick.
And a short kick and a fair catch called for by McKenzie. So Hawk does his job. It wasn't a long kick, but he got him pinned inside the 15. And will continue. Denver gets the ball in beautiful Miami. No score here in the first quarter. So Trevor Siemian, the third quarterback in as many weeks for Denver. They had a pretty good second half against Oakland last week, starting from the 11-yard line, and C.J. Anderson brings it out beyond the 15-yard line. Taking a look at the Broncos with another quarterback change, Mark, and a new offensive coordinator. Hard to define what their offense is right now.
Yeah, it's a work in progress right now, and they're going to want some up-tempo stuff as well. They're going to do some no-huddle stuff today, so they want to get their quarterback in a rhythm because they haven't had that. Cordray
Tankersley, the rookie cornerback for the Dolphins, shaken up. Third-round pick out of Clemson, who's been thrown into the breach and has had his moments.
Well, you see C.J. Anderson. That's just a big body putting it on Tankersley in run support, and that's part of the issue with corners. I mean, corners have to come up when a guy breaks contain. He breaks the edge, and he's got to be the last line of defense right there. And C.J. Anderson, that's what you're taught to do as a running back. Run behind your pads, put your shoulder down, and roll over somebody and see if you can deplete that secondary. So Tankersley running off there, obviously in pain.
Alteron Werner replaces him, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, after Anderson gained 6 yards on first down.
47!
And the pitch to Anderson up the middle, and Anderson will get a Bronco first down, getting close to the 24-yard line. Rashad Jones making the tackle. Dolphins defensively, well, they carried the team early, but they have allowed 36 points a game in their 5-game losing streak.
And they have done, you look at them, they were really good at a bunch of different phases early, but right now, they're not rushing the passer, they're not defending the run. Everything has broken down for this Miami Dolphins defense. They're trying to get it back together here against the Broncos.
First down, Broncos on the 24. They go to Anderson again, and he has running room and picks up about 8 yards, and a good block by Connor McGovern, making his first career start at right guard for the injured Ron Leary, and he gets 8.
That's right. Get Connor McGovern involved, right? Playing right guard. Let him pull a little bit. Get down there in the briar patch, head-to-head with a linebacker. That's how you get yourself ready to roll. Nice run by him.
Second down and 2. And Anderson again, and not this time. Went to the well a lot. Time for a game break. Let's check in now with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you very much. We head to New Jersey. Chiefs already up 7-0 early when Travis Kelce hauls in his second touchdown in just a matter of minutes. This one a 36-yarder from Alex Smith. Chiefs up 14-0. Dick, Mark, and Shannon.
Thank you, Carissa. Chiefs battling in the tight AFC West. Devontae Booker has come into the game, the second-year running back. On third down and 2. Booker going in motion, and Simeon's pass, it's knocked down, incomplete, intended for Emmanuel Sanders, and a flag. 2 of them, in fact, go down from the secondary. Bobby McCain, the nickelback, defending Sanders. Referee is Carl Sheffers.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 44, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down. It's
on Stephon Anthony, and so they made the play on the receiver, but what happened after?
Well, what happened after is unnecessary roughness, and that's been the issue with this Miami Dolphins football team. You want to talk about just dumb penalties. Penalties pre-snap, penalties like that. That's one of those things that this is completely unnecessary. You're off the field. Now you're helping the Broncos flip the field position and get you behind the chains.
And they're close to midfield at their 47. First down, and play fake to Booker, the pass rush, and coming on in and making the play, Lawrence Timmons, the veteran, coming over from the Pittsburgh Steelers, storming in on Simeon and getting the piece of his throw.
Timmons just on the outside, comes out. Look at him keep his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Get up as you see that quarterback start to load that football. Just get your hands up there, see if you can make a play. Veteran play by a veteran football player, and that's Timmons.
Distinguished career in Pittsburgh, bringing up 2nd and 10. Simeon, and it's going to be intercepted by T.J. McDonald. On the deflection, off the hands of Sanders. And the Dolphins will get it back on the turnover in Bronco territory. Right place at the right time with T.J. McDonald. With that turnover, the Broncos now tied with the Browns for the worst turnover differential of the season, and for the Dolphins, only their 5th interception of the year. The ball is on their own 47 as they start this drive. Trying to take advantage of the Broncos' mistake. Play fake with time, and the pass knocked away. Good play by Bradley Roby, intended for Stills.
And there's T.J. McDonald right here playing a deep safety and a 2-high safety combination. You've got your receiver just running a quick slant, but he's covered. I mean, there's a lot of traffic in there, and that's been an issue when you look at Trevor Siemian throwing to covered guys. Perfectly done. Nice job by McCain getting his hand in there, and then T.J. McDonald, Johnny on the spot, picking it up. Those are the mistakes that you have to quit making for the Broncos. 17 turnovers on the season, or minus 17, excuse me, in turnover differential.
Yeah, with the Browns, you don't want to be in that category. And Cutler is going to be tackled by Shelby Harris. Shelby Harris showing great speed, and a sack as Cutler is sacked as we send it down to Shannon Spake.
So, Dick, the flu bug made its way through the Denver Broncos facility this past week. Defensive guys hit the hardest. Yesterday, Shane Ray was still feeling the effects. And when that defense came off the field after that first series, I saw the linebacker on the bench. He threw up a couple of times. Certainly, take a look at that side of the field, too. 30 degrees warmer on that Denver bench, so certainly have to handle that as well.
Yeah, Shannon, and they're not used to the kind of heat you get at this time of year. We're in December. Loss of 6, and out of the backfield is Kenyon Drake. Drake trying to make something out of it, and Drake winds up at the 46-yard line of the Broncos. As the Dolphins needed 16 yards for the first down, they were shy by about 4 and will have to kick.
Broncos defense doing a good job after the turnover, getting the stop, making them punt again. But now we get into the field position game. The Dolphins obviously can pin them deep here and look for an opportunity to force a 3-and-out.
Dolphins had the clock for 6.5 minutes on their first possession, leaving the Broncos defense on the field. Couldn't take advantage of this turnover, and a fair catch by McKenzie and a penalty flag down right around the midfield area.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 41. Half the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
It's on Jerome Garcia-Williams. It's been all defense. Timmons playing a role. So is Von Miller, and the interception by McDonald. We'll be back. Andre Tankersley, who was shaken up back in for the Dolphins. And after that holding penalty, Broncos will start from their 5-yard line. Anderson, and he's going to lose a yard thanks to Tankersley. From the producers of American Horror Story and The People vs. O.J. Simpson comes a new series on Fox, told through the eyes of first responders, starring Angela Bassett, Peter Krause, and Connie Britton. 911 series premiere this January.
Dick, anytime you start inside the 5-yard line, this defense gets a stop here, it's considered an automatic 3 points for the Miami Dolphins. So you're talking about points on this swing right here. They've got to be able to hold up.
Second down and long, and Simeon from the end zone trying to find somebody, and the pass is incomplete. Trying to get it to Demaryius Thomas, and another penalty marker.
Always living dangerously when you're throwing out of your own end zone. It's a scary thing for offensive linemen when you got to drop back into the end zone on a deep drop.
Fouls by both teams on the play. Holding, number 71 offense. Holding, number 30 defense. Those fouls offset. Replay second down.
So it was Stevenson for the Broncos, the right tackle, and Tankersley, the cornerback, holding.
Yeah, and anytime you get a holding call in there, they're lucky that Tankersley had a penalty, because if that hold happens right there in the end zone, that's a safety. And that is a safety. So you dodged another bullet. That's, that would be 2 points, and Miami having the ball once again.
Ball at the 5, now second down and 10. Swinging it out, and the pass to Jamal Charles. And he gets out of bounds, pushed there by Kiko Alonso.
Kiko Alonso, a tackling machine. He's averaged 9 tackles a game here the last 3 games. And I'm telling you what, we saw him on Friday's practice. He can run like the wind. I mean, run around on yoga pants. And just like, this guy, he could do some stretching, some yoga on the side, and he can run like the wind. So Kiko, a very valuable player, not only in the run defense, but also, as you saw there, chasing guys down in the pass.
That's what he does best. It'll be third down and 10 now. Crowd is vocal, and out of the shotgun will be Simeon. And it's over his head. And he throws it out of the end zone, and it's going to be a safety. It'll be a safety. You were just talking about it moments ago, Mark, on the holding call. Would have been there. And Vance Joseph,
ruling on the field is a backwards pass that was thrown out of the end of the end zone for a safety.
It is a safety, and of course they'll review as they do all scoring plays here. But Simeon didn't want to risk losing the ball and having the Dolphins recover for the touchdown.
And then, as we mentioned, anytime you sit inside the 5-yard line, automatic 3 points usually for the defense. That one resulted in 2.
They'll get 2, and the ball. Matt Paradis is the center who snapped the ball high off the fingers of Trevor Simeon, and the Dolphins getting a safety. A free kick now for the punter Riley Dixon. Jakeem Grant is back and will run it from the 26. Grant up the middle, and Grant, good field position for Miami.
Well, they're usually an even front, but you see they move the center right here. When the center's there, you have a tendency, you've got to get your hands up quick to get on that defender, and so that creates the bad snap. Moving Jordan Phillips over the head of Matt Paradis is what resulted, or what created, that bad snap over the head of Trevor Simeon. Look at him talking right now. Dude, that's a bad snap, dude, over my head. That's a tough situation, very hard as a center when you get covered like that, especially down off your own end line.
Dolphins leading 2-0 and have a first down on their 42. And here it's Grant looking for running room and gets it before he's tripped up just shy of midfield. Good block by Marquise Gray. Head coach Adam Gase, who was with Denver a few years ago, actually 6 years with the Broncos, was the offensive coordinator, and he says, well, all I'm trying to do is figure out the way to win one game. Not talking about old home week with the Broncos.
Right, and he's changed some tendencies. This is the team that's been in 82%, 1 tight end, 1 running back, a lot of 2 tight end, fullback formations right now, Dick.
So they've gone against the chalk. Second down and 3, and Kenyon Drake is going to be dragged down by Shelby Harris for a loss on the play. 5-yard loss generated by an outstanding Bronco defensive unit.
Shelby Harris getting right here off the 3 technique, outside shade of the guard, and look at, as though he's got a little rocket right there, a little hand move on the inside. They're blitzing the inside linebacker, so that hesitates the offensive line. He hits the swim move on the outside and is in the backfield making that tackle, putting them behind the chains on 3rd down.
3rd down, they need 8 yards to go. This is a very fast Denver defense. And out of the shotgun, pressure on Cutler, and his pass is going to be incomplete, going for Devontae Parker. Roby is covering, no flag down, and that will bring up 4th down. So Roby, so far, doing a good job starting in place of Aqib Talib.
Up to the challenge. Roby stepping up his game. He's an outstanding young player, but Aqib Talib is one of the best players in football. Hey, Bradley Roby, you've got man-to-man, back shoulder fade, very difficult to defend. You see him keep his hand engaged right there, feels the stopping of the receiver so he can turn around and try to play the ball. Excellent job.
Matt Hawk will punt it away, and Isaiah McKenzie is going to let that thing sail into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Well, the Broncos got off to a strong 3-1 start with wins against the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders, but have fallen off a cliff recently. They've lost their last 7 games. You can see the numbers and how they have dropped. This is their longest losing streak in 50 years. And it's amazing when you consider they're only 2 years removed from a Super Bowl championship. And Vance Joseph, former defensive coordinator here with the Dolphins in his first year as head man.
And he told us, Vance said, the perfect game has never been played. You guys can't get your daubers down when mistakes happen. And that's what's happened so far early in this game for the Broncos.
From the 20-yard line, Simeon gives to Dante Booker, and Booker picked up 3 yards.
Vance Joseph, and I don't even know what a dauber is. Like, I just know a dauber is not good when it's down. And these daubers are down over here. You need to get them up, but you've got to understand.
Let me Google it.
Let me Google the dauber, but I will tell you, you've got to be able to understand that it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes it's going to be ugly. Can you continue to fight and make plays for your football team? That's Vance's challenge for this team.
Yeah, he said, let's not beat ourselves, and so far they have. Play action for Simeon, and open is Virgil Green. Rarely used tight end. They don't go to their tight end all that much. Has only 12 catches coming into this game. And Virgil Green with a big gain, and limping off the field is Emmanuel Sanders. But Green with a 36-yard play.
Oh, what a beautiful blitz pickup, too. These linebackers going to cross. Watch my man Booker right here come up and just stick Kiko Alonso. Bam! Stops him right there. Perfectly clean pocket for Trevor Simeon to hit the crossing route to the tight end, and Virgil Green does the rest down the sideline.
Came in the game 9th in receiving on this team, and a first down on the 41 of the Dolphins. And here's the pass, and it's going to be caught by Benny Fowler. Benny Fowler makes the catch as the quarter comes to an end, as he picks up 23 yards. And the time running out, and inside the 20 are the Broncos.
First quarter.
And that is the end of the first quarter here in Miami, with the score, the Dolphins 2 and the Broncos nothing. Emmanuel Sanders has had a gimpy ankle on the sidelines now. First play of the second quarter, first down on the 18 of the Dolphins. And here is Booker, and Booker gets inside the 15-yard line on first down.
And I want to keep an eye on this right now. Here you see Emmanuel Sanders. He's running the route. Watch Tankersley step on his ankle. And this is a guy that's had a gimpy ankle. He's trying to come out of the break right here. Look at this. Step on the ankle, and that's what you're going to get. So it's one of those things, jumping around, limping around a little bit. We'll see if Emmanuel Sanders can insert himself back into this ballgame. But they're in heavy personnel right now, getting out of a 3-wide set.
2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver, second down and 5 at the 13. Simeon will swing it out to Booker, and there is Kiko Alonso clamping down immediately. And a good play by Alonso, no gain, bringing up third down.
It's always nice when you have a flat defender like Kiko Alonso that can get out there, open field tackles, has the speed, and I love the approach. Use the sideline as an extra defender, inside out on the running back, force him to that angle, and then wrap him up. A lot of times, linebackers nowadays, they don't use their arms. Those things hanging out of your shoulders, those things are called arms. You want to use them to wrap it up.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, that's how you operate with that, Dick.
Emmanuel Sanders is okay, back in the game on 3rd down and 5. Simeon up the middle, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Thomas was the intended receiver. And so the Dolphins, with Xavier Howard covering him, makes the play, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, and here you've got Emmanuel Sanders on the cut, the in-route cut, and, you know, I mean, it's just leading the receiver into traffic. And he's had a couple, he being Trevor Simeon, has had a couple errant throws. You want to put that in the middle, right on the guy's body, not lead him into that traffic. So that's another pass that's just a little bit off for Trevor Simeon.
Brandon McManus attempting a 31-yard field goal for the Broncos. The kick is good, and Denver leads in a baseball score right now, 3-2. Early here in the second quarter in sunny Miami.
Dick, look, you show up to a football game and guess what happens? A Marlins game breaks out right here, 3-2 score. You, sir, you wore the correct hat, my friend, right here.
Not too early to start getting those relievers working to protect that 1-run lead. There's Brandon McManus. So the Broncos, 2 straight passes for 59 yards to Green and Fowler put them in position for the leading field goal. Well, we looked at Vance Joseph and Adam Gase. The head coaches each spent time with the team on the other sideline. Joseph was the defensive coordinator here in Miami last season, while Adam Gase spent 6 years with the Broncos in various roles, and that's where he first met Jay Cutler, his quarterback, who was signed before the season. He's going to be an analyst on Fox Sports, but decided to play quarterback after Ryan Tannehill suffered a season-ending knee injury before preseason. So it'll be a first down from the 25, and Kenyon Drake leading his way past the 30-yard line, and good gain on first down by Drake of 7 yards.
This is a couple of guys that have a real affinity for one another, and I'm talking about Vance Joseph and Adam Gase, both really good friends. They really respect one another, but the great thing about competing against your good friends and your buddies is there's nobody you'd rather stick it to. So both of these guys have great motivation to basically compete against one another.
He'll say nice things after the game.
Right.
3 tight ends in the game, and here is Drake again. And Von Miller meets him head on. And so it'll be 3rd down. No gain that time.
You know, really interesting, because 2 things that have gone on so far with this Miami Dolphins offense. They have really struggled all season long, but they've really gotten out of their 3 wide sets. You see multiple tight ends, multiple running backs, and you've also seen early here a few dummy snap counts to see if Jay Cutler could distinguish what exactly the Broncos are going to play on the defensive side. 2 things to keep your eye on as they continue this drive.
Yeah, this is a different kind of offense than we've seen from Miami, who are used to 3 wide receivers. Here's Cutler on 3rd down and 4, and he flips it to Devontae Parker, and Parker will get the first down. Alert play by Jay Cutler and Devontae Parker, and a pickup of 4 yards.
And I see you, Jay Cutler. That's motivated out of fear right there, right? I mean, that's exactly, that's how I was motivated. You step up in the pocket, climb the pocket, and then what? Flip it over. Nice job by Jay.
From the 26, play action this time. Stepping up is Cutler, and his pass is going to be incomplete. Stills the intended receiver, and well covered by the linebacker downfield, Todd Davis.
Todd Davis, and this is not what the Broncos are known for. They do a great job of getting the matchup they want. Kenny Stills, the wide receiver, on Todd Davis on the deep over route, and that is a mismatch 100% of the time. But watch Todd Davis pick him up as he runs across. He never looks back for the ball, but excellent job. Now, you could say, hey, maybe that could be pass interference, and it could be called that way. But to get that kind of depth and to run with a receiver, nice job by Todd Davis.
2nd down and 10. And Cutler under a rush. Fires it, and Stills fell down. Stills was open, slipped, and he made the catch nonetheless. What a catch by Stills. Lost his footing when he was wide open at the 42.
Oh my goodness, there is the Dolphins are trying to run up,
and Von Miller is shaken up
to snap the ball. And Von Miller, I don't know if he's just trying to get them not to snap the ball so they can look at the replay, or if his hamstring cramped up.
Well, this is big right here,
because he grabbed his hammy. At first, I initially thought that Von Miller was trying to just stop them. Look at the concentration. Get your hands out all the way out, juggle the ball, keep your eyeballs on that thing. He brings it in. I mean, that
never touched the ground.
It never touched the ground, and he rolls over to protect it. That's concentration by Stills right there.
He's been the deep threat for this team. When they've gone deep this year, it would be a 22-yard gain. And the concern right now is the great Von Miller, one of the great defensive players this game has seen. And walking off barely under his own power.
Interesting, because I saw as the Miami Dolphins were rushing back to the huddle, I saw Von Miller take off down the field, and then all of a sudden he grabbed what looked to me to be his hamstring. So I don't know if it's a cramp or if it's a pull.
Shaquille Barrett will replace him.
Here he is coming off the edge, going to rush the passer. You see two tight ends over there. They're trying to keep Von Miller out of that. Former teammate Julius Thomas. Now he's just watching the play, and then he takes off down the field, and that's when I saw him grab his hamstring. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
First down for the Dolphins on the Bronco 42. Kenyon Drake back in at running back, and Cutler throwing it to Drake, and Shaquille Barrett, who just replaced Von Miller, was in on Cutler almost before he got the snap.
Shaquille Barrett, they have a bunch of really good pass rushers between Von Miller, Shaquille Barrett, Shane Ray. They use all three of them at times. They call it their NASCAR package, like the Giants back in the day when they went NASCAR on them. But they've got three guys who are very capable edge rushers. Two of them, Shaq Barrett and Shane Ray, in now off the edges.
They have speed everywhere. 2nd and 10. Give to Kenyon Drake. And Drake is dragged down about 2.5 yards shy of the first down by Todd Davis, bringing up 3rd down. Time for a game break, and let's send it to Kurt Menefee in L.A. Kurt.
All right, Dick, low-scoring games all over the league today, but Minnesota gets the first touchdown in Atlanta. Case Keenum to Jerick McKinnon, who grew up in Atlanta, doing the dirty bird afterwards. Vikings up 7-3.
That's out of the pass for the Falcons, but for the present right now, Von Miller has come back in the game for the Broncos. On 3rd down, lofted up there, and the pass is caught by Landry. Jarvis Landry, with the ball hanging in the air, makes the catch, and the Dolphins are inside the Bronco 10. A 25-yard gain for Miami.
Jarvis Landry is a guy they want to work out of the slot right here, and you've got two of the great matchups. You see the pick right there. That's what you do. You run the inside route. You try to pick the defender in man coverage. They saw the man. They went after that slot receiver, Jarvis Landry, and they executed it perfectly.
1st and goal on the 9, and here is the fade, and it's caught for the touchdown, Julius Thomas.
Offside, number 58, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Von Miller was offside. The penalty is declined. And Julius Thomas, who caught 12 touchdown passes for the Denver Broncos in back-to-back years, makes a 9-yard catch here for the first touchdown of the game.
And Julius Thomas told us he used to talk smack all the time right here, locked up in man against Parks. Used to talk smack all the time. If I played against you guys in a game, I'd get you. Well, guess what? Julius won. Broncos defense, none.
What a great feeling of satisfaction for Thomas going against his former team for the first time in his career.
He was so excited to play in this game because he's got so many good friends out there in Denver, and so many guys that he remains in contact with, but excellently throwing ball. Does he keep contact? Does he hold the ball all the way through the catch? Yeah, that's a touchdown by Julius Thomas. And the ball placement, look at the back shoulder right there on the 4-9 to the sideline of Julius Thomas. No way Will Parks can get back in there and defend that throw. And that's what a great quarterback does for you.
And it's been confirmed as the touchdown, so Cody Parkey on for the extra point. And the kick is good, so the touchdown, and Cutler, who is 10 of 15 for 110 yards with a 9-yard strike to Julius Thomas, caps a 75-yard drive by Miami. Jay Cutler with his first touchdown pass since the first half against Tampa Bay. That's when he had the concussion problem, didn't come out for the second half. Matt Moore came in for him. So Jay Cutler looking awfully sharp here against one of his former teams. And it's a 9-3 Dolphin lead. And the kick will sail out of the end zone. And the Broncos get it at the 25.
All right, well, former Denver Bronco right here, Julius Thomas. You see him right now. He's going to mount that. Look at this. That's Happy Gilmore. Go ahead and ride the pony. I don't know that you really want to watch that. You might want to avert your eyes. Don't ever show that again in the truck there. I don't think anybody wants to see that. But Julius Thomas, former Denver Bronco, had a bunch of touchdowns. You see it right there, 24 when he played with the Broncos. And it's always nice to get one against your former team.
Third this year for Thomas. Starting from the 25, Trevor Siemian's pass, and it's going to be intercepted. Xavier Howard, touchdown. A pick six for Xavier Howard, the second-year cornerback. And the second interception thrown by Siemian. 29-yard run after the interception. And the Dolphins capitalize again. First play from scrimmage after the touchdown. Cody Parkey on once again, and the Dolphins now lead it by a score of 16-3 here in the second quarter.
You're going to get just the quick out. Now you need to get this ball placement. You have to get this out to the sideline. Instead, he throws it behind the receiver. If you just throw it out to the sideline, it's at the very worst an incompletion. It's probably an 8-yard gain, but you threw it. Gosh, I mean, that's 2 yards behind the intended receiver, and that has been an endemic problem with him at all times. Demaryius Thomas wide open on that, and Trevor Siemian making the bad throw once again. We've seen 3 or 4 of them today, and there's just another example, the pick six, and those are the mistakes that Trevor Siemian and this Broncos football team just can't overcome.
They have allowed 105 points off of turnovers, most in the league. That's incredible. The Denver Broncos, and you wonder why they're 3-8 and riding the 7-game losing streak. 105 points off of their turnovers.
And it's great when it's the Christmas season and you're giving, but that kind of giving loses jobs, Dick. That's the kind of giving that costs you your job.
And this kick deep in the end zone, and the Broncos will get it at the 25. Well, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. So far, Xavier Howard, his first career interception and touchdown, and now the Broncos trailing by 13. Starting again from the 25. Here's Anderson, and a good first down run as he gets beyond the 30. Last in the NFL with 2 turnovers so far in this game, minus 18. That is not a recipe for victory. By the way, that safety was not a turnover. It was ruled an aborted play, so not a turnover, but 2 committed by the Broncos here.
I'm not quite sure what the difference is because all those plays stink.
And that's your nickname.
Yes.
2nd and 4, and here is C.J. Anderson. And Anderson gets the first down up to the 42-yard line.
And I like what offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave is doing right now. Hey, let's slow it down, guys, okay? This is not out of hand. We put one drive together. The Dolphins are going to play a little bit soft. They're going to give us some 2 high safety looks, meaning 2 safeties in the middle of the field. Those are favorable run looks. Let's not abandon the run game as we've done in the past. Let's go ahead and settle down our quarterback, and let's pound the rock a little bit.
Mike McCoy relieved of his duties as offensive coordinator. This is Musgrave's 2nd game in that role. Play fake for Simeon. He's got time, and this pass is going to be knocked down. Intended for Thomas, and Howard coming off the interception, flagged down. And it looks to be against the Dolphins.
Howard made the big play earlier. I think he got a little grab on Demaryius Thomas, who was running the in-cutting route.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. 2nd down.
Well, some of the big problems that they've had have been the quarterbacks. 3 of the last 3 weeks. Paxton Lynch started last week. He got hurt. Trevor Simeon came in. And then Brock Osweiler was there, 0-3 as a starter. And so if you're going to have a musical chairs quarterback story, it's not going to end up as a good tale. 2nd down and 10 at the 42. And Anderson stopped by Bobby McLean and a loss of 1. This is a really ignited unit for the Dolphins right now, Mark.
Things haven't gone well for the Dolphins here in the last 4 weeks, but you look at what's going on right now. They've got some energy. They understand they can turn this into a landslide for their offense. Matt Burke, their defensive coordinator right now, imploring the guys, come on, let's bury it.
Broncos 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need 11. Simeon goes down. Andre Branch with his 4th sack of the game. Of the season, I should say.
And you get a sack like that, you go ahead and make snow angels. It is the Christmas season, and I know you don't get snow here in Miami, but anytime you can get pressure from the top against the rookie, look at the dip, and just keeps fighting underneath. Trevor Simeon steps up into the pocket, and Branch falls on. Go ahead, get on that snow angel, Branch.
2 new starters on the right side of the Broncos offensive line, and a loss of 6 there, and Jarvis Landry will let this ball bounce. Picked up by Landry, reversing his field, and finally tackled at the 10 by Benny Fowler.
Andre Branch on the inside against the rookie Bowles. That's a sack, and that's a celebration.
Offensive leaders for the Dolphins as they start from the 11-yard line. Landry with 3 catches for 44 yards, and yes, I would circle what Jay Cutler has done as well.
Completion percentage, touchdown, not turning the ball over. That's what they need.
Kenyon Drake, first one, and gets the first down on the 2nd effort past the 20-yard line. Now, earlier we saw Kenny Still slip when he made a terrific catch, and they have had a little problem with the field at times this year.
I'm telling you what, I think it's a gopher problem. Where's Bill Murray, right? If we kill all the gophers, they'll throw goes up and throw away the key. Yeah, that's always tough. But I was down looking at that field earlier today, and that field's in really good shape. The footing is excellent.
First down at the 22. Cutler, short drop, going deep. And it's going to be picked off. It was intended for Stills and Chris Harris. on his feet, coming back. So the Broncos giving the Dolphins a dose of their own medicine right now. And an interception by Chris Harris.
And Chris Harris is a guy that always plays in the slot, and here you're going to see him with depth on the outside. You see this depth right here, and he said that depth is going to give me an opportunity. He doesn't bite on the bottom, the double move, but look at the eyes, the concentration, the body control to whip back inside, pick up the ball right here, tap it with his right arm, and gather it in with both hands.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Now, did he have control when it hit the ground? Because if he had control at the same time it touches the ground, it is okay.
But the nose of the football definitely hit the turf.
As long as you have possession and you've got control.
The ruling of an interception is under review.
So the rule, as I understand it, as long as you have control and it doesn't bobble, even if it hits the ground, it is still a reception. Now, if it moves when it hits the ground, then it is not. And I think that's what they're going to have to look for here. Does he have complete control? It's still moving around.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Move. Now, remember, you've got to be able to say inconclusively, but I think it's moving.
Dean Blandino. Let's bring Dean Blandino in. Dean, what do you see?
Yeah, good conversation here because the issue is going to be control. The ball can touch the ground. As long as the player maintains control of it, though, he will have an interception in this situation. It's very close. To me, it looks like he's pulling it in. The nose touches the ground. I don't see enough movement to say that's a loss of control. If I'm looking at this, I'm going to let the call on the field stand.
And that's been Mark's feeling here as he sees it.
Boy, it is close, though, isn't it? It's a very close call. And again, it comes down to, do you have inconclusive evidence?
That's exactly it. Is it clear and obvious that he didn't have
After
control?
review, the ruling on the field stands.
And they go,
First down, Denver.
Dean, you're absolutely right. And Marcus, too. Thank you very much, Dean. And not enough evidence to change the call of a completed interception by Harris. His second interception of the year and the first Bronco to have more than one interception.
And the fans here are not happy about it, but I agree it is the correct call.
Can't blame them. First down on the 48 of Denver. They've got an opportunity to get back in this game, and the flip to C.J. Anderson. And Anderson finds himself in Dolphin territory barely after a gain of 3.
And he talked to us. Here you see, look at the amount of cushion right here between him and the wide receiver. He's out there on the outside, and he said, this allows me to keep my head. Look at the head in. He sees the double move, the head on the quarterback, and now he turns last minute, tips it with his hand, and he's used to playing the man on the inside slot. He says you can't look at the quarterback when you're in the slot. You have to play the man. Outside, you got to play the quarterback and the man.
2nd and 7. Simeon up the middle and overthrows his intended receiver, Demaryius Thomas. And that'll bring up 3rd down. So the first turnover committed by the Dolphins. Broncos committing 2. And 1 resulting in a touchdown.
That's wide open receiver on an easy crossing route, and an NFL quarterback has to make that throw. He has to make that throw. Trevor Simeon is rattled. He's made mistakes. He has missed throws. He has thrown a pick 6, and right now you can see the result. There is zero confidence in his game on this 3rd down.
Broncos have yet to convert a 3rd down situation. 3rd and 7. Here comes the pressure up the middle on Simeon. Simeon is going to go deep and overthrows Benny Fowler, covered downfield by Alteron Werner. And that will present 4th down. And the Denver Broncos will have to kick.
Even if you throw a pick in this situation, you're going to pick up the blitz. Look at all the linebackers coming. That's a beautiful pickup. Even if you throw a pick, it's as good as a punt. You've got to put it on a place where the receiver can actually have a chance. That's an 8-yard overthrow by your quarterback, and it gives you no chance to compete in this game.
Simeon now 5 of 13 for 62 yards and 2 interceptions. And Jarvis Landry makes the play at the 13. Time for a game break. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Nick. We head to Green Bay. Packers were up 10-7 when Jameis Winston is sacked by Kenny Clark, recovered by Dean Lowry. Big Boy's going to take it to the house. Schlereth, I know you love this move right here. I know you'll find it hard to believe, but this is Lowry's first touchdown. He caps it off with a little Lambeau leap. He's got his team up 17-7. Guys?
Good leap, too.
Oh, good leap, but did you see him pick him up and put him down? Who said big guys can't run? Yeah, standing up for all us chubby dudes. I love it. Love it.
Packers trying to get back to 500. Dolphins with a first down on the 13. So they dodge a bullet after the interception, and the handoff to Kenyon Drake doesn't get them, well, 3 yards after getting hit at the line.
And this is what you want out of Jay Cutler. When he is on target, look at him hit that step, get that ball out of his hand. Kenny Stills, a little bit of an underthrow, but now he's going to light it up right here. Down the sideline, perfectly thrown to Landry, and then the back shoulder fade. Did you see that? As soon as he caught the ball, man, he just turned and fired to the outside, put it right on the 9, and then you get the pony dance right there from Julius Thomas.
Well, you said in the beginning that if Cutler is in rhythm, it's going to be very tough for the Broncos, and so far he's been just that. Pitch going to Kenyon Drake, and Drake cutting up the middle will have another first down for the Dolphins at the 24, picking up 8 yards.
And this is where the heat and the humidity and the lack of offensive production for the Broncos is going to affect this defense. You're out there, you're not used to this humidity. It's in December. I like to call these gold bond games, right? You want to powder up and make sure you don't get too sweaty. Well, this defense right now going to be out here far too long defending Jay Cutler and the Miami Dolphins, and that's never good for anybody.
Todd Davis limped off the field, replaced by Zaire Anderson on 1st and 10. Here is Drake. Drake is going to get a heavy dose today with Damian Williams out with a shoulder injury. The most carries Drake ever had in his college career at Alabama was 15 in a game, and Drake already in double figures.
And I like this. I like the way they're coming off the out of the back of their own territory here, Dick. And let's run the ball. Let's slow it down a little bit, and let's tire out this defense before they go in at halftime. So I like their philosophy. I like the way Adam Gase is attacking the Broncos.
Calling a good game is Adam Gase. 2nd and 9. Sonoris Perry come in the game, the pass up the middle, it'll be caught. Another first down to Kenny Stills, and Stills getting 12 yards.
Now you got to start thinking, hey, you know, we're moving the ball a little bit. We're going to get into that 50 area, you know, midfield. At what point do we start picking up the tempo a little bit? And at what point do we start thinking about not just running out the clock, but actually giving ourselves a chance for a field goal or a touchdown? That's what you're thinking as a coach right now.
Good balance, really. They pass more than they run by 5, but good balance indeed. Drake is back in the game and gets the handoff. Here's Kenyon Drake, and Drake pushing the pile. Stopped by Justin Simmons. So Drake with his 13th carry here in the first half. Question is, can he be a workhorse? And as we said, wasn't at Alabama as a backup.
This is the 2-minute warning.
It's time for the 2-minute warning here in Miami, with the Dolphins leading the Broncos 16-3. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Dick Stockton, Mark Schlereth, and Shannon Spake here in Miami. It'll be 2nd down and 3 at the 43 for the Dolphins. Each team has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And Miami with a 6+ minute ball control edge. Todd Davis returns into the lineup at linebacker for Denver. And here's Kenyon Drake. And he won't get there because Todd Davis, who just came back, was right there. Davis, shaken up before, though, has had an outstanding first half for the Broncos.
Todd Davis, a very good football player. He's filled in on the running game. He's attacked the guards at the point of attack. He's made a play on a crossing route against Jarvis Landry. So he's had an outstanding game, and this defense has really stood up.
Timeout called by Miami. And right now, let's check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Head-to-head with the Texans, the Bills fantasize about beating the Patriots, and the Chiefs set their lineup against the Jets. Put down that cheat sheet. The Visa halftime is next.
All right, coming up shortly, and Jay Cutler looking at a 3rd down and 1. Dolphins are 3 for 6 in 3rd down conversions. They're looking for more points before intermission. Throwing on 3rd and 1. And a wobbly pass intended for Stills was deflected by Adam Gotsis, the defensive end. He blew that play up, and so 4th down coming up, and with 3 timeouts, the Broncos could be looking to narrow this edge here with plenty of time remaining.
Well, the Broncos defense is keeping them in the game like they do on a consistent basis. It's this Broncos offense that is really stymieing this football team.
3rd overall, and in the top 5 in run and pass defense. Matt Hawk. McKenzie. And it bounces, takes the Dolphins bounce, and it's down inside the 10-yard line by Walt Aikens. Well, this weekend, NFL players are lacing up and letting their cleats do the talking as part of My Cause, My Cleats. Players are supporting charitable causes important to them through cleats that are custom designed and inspired by their causes. Discover the stories behind the cleats and bid on select players' special edition cleats at NFL.com/MyCauseMyCleats.
Yeah, now if I was playing, you know, you have charities, something with food on it. Like, you know, I used to stuff myself, maybe some ice cream, maybe a sundae or something of that nature.
Come on. Control yourself. 1st and 10 from the end zone, Simeon, and he completes the pass to Austin Traylor, the tight end. Short of the 1st down, gets about 5 or so yards. Clock running, under a minute and a half remaining, and again the Broncos have 3 timeouts left. Simeon gets the 1st down, again to Austin Traylor.
Well, the Dolphins will let them do this all day long. Dump it off to the tight end for a 5 or 6 yard throw.
Timeout, Denver.
Finally call a timeout. Timeout, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. From the 24, 1st down, the Broncos have 1 timeout left. Simeon flips it out of the backfield to Jamal Charles. Charles for the 1st down, up to the 40-yard line and dives close to midfield or near the 45. 1 timeout left and under a minute to go in the 1st half.
Miami content. Let you keep throwing it under there, rally up, make a tackle. You don't have time. At some point, you got to push one down the football field if you're Trevor.
And another completion. Cody Latimer, who caught a touchdown pass last week against Oakland, tackled by Werner. Don't forget the Visa halftime report coming up shortly. And another timeout is called by the Denver Broncos. Well, we know when you have a team with 2 teams with losing streaks, you know you're going to have an intense game, because the one thing they want to do is win a game, and that's what they say. And I'll tell you what, it's been pretty intense, and Denver's defense keeping them in the game.
And we'll see if Trevor Simeon actually throws one down the football field. It's nice to get him some confidence to make some easy completions underneath, but Miami is just saying, we'll let you throw it underneath. We're going to rally up, wrap up, make tackles, because you're not going to get all the way down the football field with less than a minute left to get on a scoring drive. So we'll see if they actually push it down, but I like them trying to get him some confidence right now, because he is lacking it so far this game.
No more timeouts left for the Broncos. Simeon, confidence a big factor with him as he overthrows Emmanuel Sanders, and a flag is down.
Holding, number 76, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Max Garcia, the left guard, holding.
And that is the story of the Broncos season. Offensive penalties, errant throws. There's a deep out to Emmanuel Sanders, and Trevor Simeon isn't even close on that throw. It's the kind of throw that makes you wonder, are you sure you're right-handed? It is so bad. I mean, that was horrendous.
He is 9 for 17, just a little more than 100 yards, 2 interceptions. 34 seconds remain in the first half. Second down and 15. Ball back on the 39. Simeon, and out of the backfield is Charles. And Charles is tackled immediately at the 45.
And the frustration now is boiling over.
Number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Garrett Bowles, the rookie right now, is looking like he's got his arms open saying, what are you talking about? Well, listen, when you tackle people, they will call that 100% of the time. And the young rookie is just, here he is. He's going man on man right here. Now watch as he gets to the point of attack, underneath, on the hip, and he just throws him down. Watch right here. That left arm, just throw the guy down. That's an easy call. If you're an official, you make that 100% of the time.
Andre Branch was held in a big way. Second down and 25. Here's C.J. Anderson trying to weave his way as he does to the 43-yard line, but the clock is a factor. The Broncos have no timeouts left, and there are 15 seconds remain in the first half. Dolphins were hoping they would get some points before intermission, and Denver had a golden opportunity, but it's going for naught as the pass is incomplete. Terrence Fede getting some more playing time with William Hayes on injured reserve, putting some pressure on.
And these are moments when a defense, they draw straws. Guys on the sideline are begging to get in and rush the quarterback. You know it's going to be a throw. You know this offense is not producing and this quarterback doesn't have confidence. And you know you're going to get some one-on-one opportunities to get after this offensive line.
Well, the Broncos will receive the second half kick. Is that a good thing?
At this point, probably not. Can you defer twice in one game?
3 seconds remain in the first half. Simeon on the rollout, and that will do it as the Dolphins 16-3 at the half. And let's take a look at some fun from Week 12 with Sounds from the Field, brought to you by Walmart.com, now offering free 2-day shipping.
Back in the Coliseum.
Hey, we're riding with you guys. Let's do what we do in practice. Give me a woo if you're with me.
So the Dolphins lead the Broncos 16-3. 2 turnovers have cost the Broncos, and we now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Visa halftime, which starts now. Getting set for the second half kickoff. The Dolphins lead the Broncos 16-3. Denver will get the ball first. And right now the Dolphins on their way of ending their losing streak. How do you see it, Mark?
Well, the Broncos are going to have to make sure they protect their quarterback. They're going to have to make sure they run this football. It's only a 13-point game. And for the Miami Dolphins, this is one of those games you say, let's go bury these guys. Those defensive players are excited to rush the quarterback, see if they can pad those stats. That's what they're talking about right now in Miami.
Trevor Simeon getting set to go to work once again. And this kick run out by Brendan Langley. Langley is tackled. Good defensive play by Jordan Lucas as we send it down to Shannon Spake.
All right, Dick, you know, we hear Mark Schiller talk all the time about dispersing justice in the NFL. Well, this is a guy who dispersed justice, put fear in so many quarterbacks and offensive lines. Jason Taylor, Hall of Famer. I wonder, I see you out here receiving your ring around your family, all of these fans. How is this moment so different than what you're used to as a player coming on this field?
Well, as a player, you're hyper-focused on the game and what's going on. You don't really see and feel what's going on around you. But being out here as a non-player with this jacket on now, with this ring, is, I get emotional about it. I was here late last night after a little bet they had here. I stood at the 50-yard line at about 10:30 at night. There was nobody in this stadium, and just, kind of got overtaken by the emotion of the situation. Because when you're in it, you don't really savor those moments. But when it's gone and you realize it's gone forever, it's kind of sad.
Well, your influence certainly remains. All of these guys that are currently playing on these teams walk past you, giving you respect. What is it like now to be sort of a mentor to this group?
I love it. And I had guys when I came in like Dan Marino and Trace Armstrong and Tim Bowen, so many guys that kind of helped mentor me and show me the way to be a pro and to go about taking care of your business. And anything I can do to help these guys now, and it's, I still play with some of these guys, which is really cool still. Going in the first year of my eligibility was awesome because I'm still around these guys and can touch them and feel them still. But it's great. They all come up and give me hugs today, and they're apologizing for getting sweat on my jacket. I'm like, I don't care. This jacket was built on sweat and built on their sweat, so it's all worth it.
Congratulations. Very happy for you. And there are a lot of fans out there still wearing number 99 jersey. So have fun.
Thank you, Shannon. He's a special guy. Jason Taylor, Jordan Phillips with a big defensive play. Loss of force, and now 3rd down and 13 for the Broncos deep in their own end. And this pass is going to be dropped by Demaryius Thomas. And that will bring up 4th down.
Played a lot of games against Jason Taylor, and when Terrell Davis went to the Hall of Fame, he told me, you know what, you own a piece of this gold jacket. Well, I'd like to tell Jason that I own a piece of that gold jacket as well, because I gave up at least a couple of sacks. He was a great player, struck fear into his opponents, and let me tell you, that guy, for a skinny dude, not only could rush the passer, man, he could set an edge.
Riley Dixon kicking from his goal line. Jakeem Grant, good kick by Dixon, and here is Grant. And a penalty marker down as Grant is run out of bounds.
Sure.
Around midfield, and the flag. Waiting for the ruling from the officials.
As a gunner, if you get shoved out of bounds, it's your responsibility to get it back in bounds as you're covering the punt as quickly as you can. Let's see.
Neither team sure of who the penalty is on.
I don't know that the officials know what's going on.
Carl Cheffers is going over to Adam Gase and the line judge, talking to Vance Joseph.
Kicking team player went out of bounds on his own. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. 1st down.
That's it. That's exactly it. Jason Taylor sporting his Hall of Fame ring. He's a Hall of Famer in so many respects. 7 points off of turnovers for the Dolphins, and they have outpassed the Broncos. That's been the key so far in this game. And the ball at the 48 of Denver after the penalty on the Broncos. 1st down. Good field position for Jay Cutler. And Cutler going cross field to an open receiver, and it's Anthony Fasano. And he is pushed out of bounds by Brandon Marshall at about the 20-yard line. So Cutler going the opposite way, and they get a big chunk of yards.
And it's a great design, because what you're going to do is you're going to get your tight end who's going to come out of here, and they're going to come this way. Now watch the tight end. He's going to slide across the formation, and that's a design throwback to Fasano right there. Change of possession, punt return. Now let's see if we can attack.
Longest play from scrimmage for Miami, 29 yards, and a 1st down at the 19. Here's Kenyon Drake, and he'll get about 1.5 yards. Todd Davis right there.
Well, coming out of the halftime, this is what I said. This is a Dolphins team that's going to say, let's see if we can bury the Broncos. They came out defensively, 3 plays, -3 yards, 1:43 off the clock. Now, attack on that first play to Fasano down the sideline. Can we convert? We don't want field goals here. If we're going to bury a team, we want touchdowns.
Adam Gase looking to break the 5-game losing streak. Team is 4-7 on the year. Everyone looks to roll the table at the end of the year. 2nd down and 8. From inside the 20, Cutler's pass, and a good catch by Jarvis Landry, who breaks the tackle and gets the 1st down inside the 10. Justin Simmons couldn't bring him down, and it'll be 1st and goal for Miami.
Justin Simmons normally plays safety. He's playing the nickel corner because of Aqib Talib locked up here on the best slot receiver in the game. Look at the quick move to the outside, and then that strength with the hands pushes him away. Good job by Simmons, though, staying with it, getting those shoestrings, those laces right here. Go ahead, get the laces, get him down.
Landry, 4 catches for 52 yards.
Simmons played cornerback at Boston College, so he's got some of that skill set in him. He's a great athlete, normally the starting safety, and instead of moving him outside, the Broncos decided, let's move Chris Harris Jr. to the outside and keep him in the middle of the football field where he's used to playing. Not so much safety, he's going to play some corner out of that position, but it's very similar to what he does on a day-to-day basis.
And they know he can cover, and that's a key.
He's an exceptional athlete, exceptional.
They're going to measure now to place the ball in the right spot. And it looked like 1st and goal, but it may be short by less than a football. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Couple of inches.
3rd and inches. How's your quarterback sneak game? I don't know that you'll do it with Jay Cutler here coming off concussion protocol.
Good idea.
Number 71 is eligible receiver.
And they have the extra offensive lineman in Zach Sterup. This is the Dolphins' 2nd trip into the red zone. Scored a touchdown their first foray there.
Full back up tight here. Sometimes you just give it to him on the quick handoff. Think you get the defense off kilter.
They're clogging the middle, and here's Kenyon Drake trying to go outside, and he's going to make it. Flag is down, however, and we'll see if the Dolphins were holding on the play as Drake managed to get outside enough for the 1st down, but let's wait.
Holding, number 62 offense, that penalty's declined. Holding, number 79 offense, that penalty's accepted. 3rd down.
So they decline the Ted Larson penalty and take the Sam Young holding penalty at right tackle. That'll move the ball back to the 19.
And that's just, you got holding here, you got holding here, you're just holding all over the place. These are those opportunities. You're down, you have the 1st down, you can't tackle people. They're going to call that all the time. And then away from the football, you can't get called in a hold on a wide handoff the opposite way when you're away from the football if you're Sam Young.
So now it's 3rd and 11 from the 19-yard line. And Cutler backpedaling, and his pass incomplete to Landry, looking for the flag and not getting it. Landry going over to the official. The back judge saying that he was interfered with. Good pressure that time by Adam Gotsis.
And Adam Gotsis, from his defensive tackle position, running a game, got inside leverage on Laramie Tunsil. But here's Landry wanting the penalty. There's Todd Davis. He gets there. There's no question. He gets there. That's just a missed call. Gets there before the ball gets there. That should have been a call.
So instead of a touchdown possibility, the Dolphins settling for a field goal try. Cody Parkey with a 37-yarder is good. So the Dolphins have to settle for a field goal and now lead 19-3. A beautiful day in Miami, South Florida, where there is so much to do. Field goal was set up by the 29-yard pass from that man, Jay Cutler, to Anthony Fasano, the tight end. And you always know that a veteran like Cutler wants to win. I get a feeling he's got that little special feeling for this particular game, as the kick will be downed in the end zone by McKenzie for the Broncos.
And he's got every right to be angry. You see Landry in the slot coming across the formation here, and he gets interfered with or held by Todd Davis. Now Cutler coming out here, airing out the referee a little bit. Now watch Jay Cutler, man. He's going to take his helmet off, hands in the air. Now he's airing out everybody. Look at that right there. He's just going to air out anybody who wants to listen right here. That's Jay Cutler. That kind of passion you don't see from him often. They went on a run last year, started off 0-4, went on a run. That's the kind of passion that gets you on a run.
From the 25-yard line, and the handoff is to C.J. Anderson. Flag quickly going down.
False start, number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Penalty on Garrett Bowles. So this is the AFC playoff picture right now, and everyone seems to be in contention at this point. Don't discount, by the way, those 4-7 teams. You never know what happens if you run the table at the end.
And this team right here, the LA Chargers, that's a team right there that everybody is leery of right now with that quarterback and that ability to rush off the edge by both Bosa and Ingram.
First down and 15, and Demaryius Thomas threw his hands. He has yet to catch a pass today as Demaryius Thomas, as we send it down to Shannon Spade.
Well, Dick, Vance Joseph told me the biggest concern in this game are the 9 points that they've given up off of offense. Of course, those 2 picks and the 1 pick 6. But I did ask him about Trevor Siemian. He was benched earlier in the year, and I asked him if that's his guy throughout this game, no matter what happens, and he said absolutely.
All right, thank you, Shannon. So we will not be seeing Brock Osweiler, barring an injury. Osweiler amused, having a good time watching this game. And it's second down and 15. Play action. Siemian with time. And out of the backfield is Anderson. And the Dolphins, poor tackling, and Anderson winds up with a first down when they had him before the first down yardage. So he gets to the 45-yard line. Chase Allen, the middle linebacker, missed him, and they got 25 yards.
It's a great effort by Anderson, but you go back to a guy like Trevor Siemian, and this is a coaching matter. We've got to get him on track. Dump it off to the running back. Quick slants, some easy throws for Trevor, because you're still in this game. You're 16 points down right now.
First down. And good defense that time on Emmanuel Sanders by Alteron Werner.
And I've been hard on Trevor Siemian, and he's had a lot of errant throws, and for good reason I've been hard on him, because he hasn't played well. But these receivers haven't bailed him out. Sometimes you have to make the tough catch. We saw the touchdown drive by the Dolphins. What started it? The tough catch by Stills. He made that one, diving down on the ground, fighting for that ball. These receivers have to fight for this ball as well and bail their quarterback out.
And we haven't seen that yet.
Not at all.
Second down and 10. Here is Anderson breaking another tackle. And finally, Lawrence Timmons is there to bring him down after a gain of 5.
Well, 22, C.J. Anderson hasn't given up. He hasn't mailed it in because he has punished people in the running game. He's caught the ball. He's punished them at the point of attack. He's broken tackles. C.J. Anderson is fighting to take some pressure off his quarterback. I want to see these receivers do the same thing.
Anderson has 57 yards and has averaged over 5 yards a carry, so that backs that up, Mark. 3rd and 5. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes. Jordan Phillips, who had a sack earlier in the game, makes the play on Siemian, and that will bring up 4th down. Loss of 14 yards on this play.
And they get a wide stack out here. Look at, they've got these guys 1, 2, 3, and you've got to kick all the way out right here to this edge. Almost what they call a 4-eye technique. Really wide defensive player. Max Garcia can't get out there, and that's the issue right there. Jordan Phillips does a good job getting his hands off of him and getting the sack.
Second sack of the game. And on 4th down, Riley Dixon's kick is blocked. And the Dolphins, Terrence Fede got a piece of it, and Michael Thomas has it out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So we had a safety earlier in the game, and Terrence Fede, late flag, however, and we'll have to check this one, thrown at the 10-yard line.
After the recovery, unnecessary roughness, number 78, defense. That penalty will be enforced from the out-of-bounds spot. First down, Miami.
So they call it on Fede. And Terrence Fede, 7th-round draft pick a couple of years ago.
Always a warning. Anytime they leave defensive players out there on special teams, those guys are trained pass rushers. It's not like a fullback coming at you or a linebacker. He's a trained pass rusher, and then here he is lighting up the punter, Riley Dixon, on the return. but a great block right there by Fede. Excellent job rushing the passer in that situation, or rushing the punter, I should say.
7th round draft pick, and he's going to keep the ball out of Marist College, a little school in upstate New York, and the first NFL player to have played at Marist, M-A-R-I-S-T. And Fede is making them all proud at that school with his block there. That's, by the way, the second time that Dixon has had a punt blocked this year. Earlier it happened against New England.
And the punter is a protected player. After a blocked punt, he's like a quarterback on a return. You can't go after him.
So after the penalty, they move it back to the 35. And first down for Jay Cutler. And here is Jakeem Grant on the jet sweep. And Grant, the wide receiver, they tried a little trickery there. Doesn't get much on first down.
And you think about this Broncos defense. This Broncos defense has played exceptionally right now. 19 points, but they got 7 of those points on a interception return. So this is a defense that has held up. They have turned the ball over. They have stood up. They have eliminated opportunities and drives. This defense has got to be exhausted right now because they keep getting put out in these difficult situations.
And don't forget the safety, which was not officially a turnover. They got 2 points there. Here is Cutler, and he completes it to Kenny Stills. Inside the 10 on a 2, fumbles, and the Broncos may have it. Bradley Roby knocked the ball out of the hands of Kenny Stills, and a bunch of white jerseys underneath. And yes, it was Bradley Roby who forced it and recovered it. Well, Shannon Spake said that he said, I'd like to get a pick 6 in my first start as a corner. He doesn't get that, but he pretty good job right here.
Look at Jay Cutler manipulate the pocket, slides to his left, and beautiful throw arcing over the linebacker to Stills. And there's Bradley creating the fumble and getting on that thing. Good job by Bradley Roby.
Dolphins turn it over for the second time. First down Broncos on the 11 after the turnover. The fumble by Stills. Trailing by 16 with 7.5 to play in the third. Pressure is on Simeon, and he's forced to get rid of it in a hurry. Good pressure that time by the cornerback, Alteron Burner. So there is Kenny Stills. Lost the ball after a pretty nifty 24-yard play. Now holding on to it, doesn't want to give it up anymore, and Roby, who created the forced fumble and recovered it.
Roby's sending a message to the league right now. I'm an elite level corner. I'm ready for an opportunity to be a first, a big time starter in every down corner.
Second down and 10. C.J. Anderson, who's had a solid game, as Mark has chronicled, edges his way for a couple.
Checked into the hotel the other day. Look at the right arm right here. Bam! Punch. You know who I saw at the hotel? George Foreman. George Foreman would be proud of that punch right there, because that's a knockout uppercut by Bradley Roby. And he said he was going to get a pick. He told our own Shannon Spake, I'm getting a pick. Well, you know what? Hasn't gotten a pick, but he created a turnover.
He'll take it. And they still has time for a pick 6 too, you know. So it's third down and 6. Getting hit is Simeon, trying to get it to C.J. Anderson, and Ndamukong Suh up the middle, getting a shot at Trevor Simeon, and that will bring up fourth down.
Well, pressure. I mean, pressure is created by a couple of different things. One, an offensive line that's struggling, and you see Suh getting to Trevor Simeon there, but it's also receivers that aren't beating one-on-one coverage. They're bringing pressure. There are one-on-one matchups across the board, and these receivers aren't winning early, Dick.
Well, Thomas and Sanders each have been shut out, and they're the top 2 receivers for the Broncos. Jakeem Grant at the 35. Here is Grant into Bronco territory, is tackled at about the 47, so another good field position 17-yard return. It's a beach day here in South Florida. The old story, sacks are one thing, but what about those other numbers?
Yeah, this is the number that scares you right here. Oops, sorry, right there, 11. 11 hits. That one is going to get you 100% of the time. And I don't care who you are. I mean, I don't care if you're Stretch Armstrong back there. You get hit that many times, and you're going to start shying away from contact because no quarterback can hold up in those circumstances. And some of it's holding the ball, some of it's your receivers not busting man coverage early, and some of it's your offensive line just breaking down.
Second half, Miami has started on the Denver 43. That's been their starting average. They're at the 48 here as Kenyon Drake breaks the tackle and gets 9 yards on first down. So the Broncos, as Ray is shaken up right now and going out, Simeon has had an opportunity because the Dolphins have turned it over twice and they have not been able to convert.
And that's the big thing. Anytime you turn it over and you don't get points off of it, and you can see the Broncos, 11 takeaways, only 17 points. They've got 2 today. They've got exactly 0 points.
Meanwhile, the other side has been a disaster as far as their turnovers are concerned. Second down and 1. Here is Drake again, and he is tackled from behind by the safety Will Parks. No gain.
And there's only so much you can ask a defense to do. They've been protecting a short field through the entirety of this game because of the offensive ineptitude and because of the turnovers. And eventually, your guys are going to wear out. They're going to start dropping like flies. And you see one on the ground right now, whether it's heat, whether it's injury, doesn't matter. They've just been asked to hold too much of the pressure, too much of the entirety of the football team upon their shoulders right now.
Barrett is the injured player. We saw Ray hurt just a little while ago. Want to remind you to start your day with First Things First. Join Chris Carter, Nick Wright, and Jenna Wolf for the best sports show on television weekday mornings at 6:30 Eastern on FS1. Vance Joseph, in his first year as head coach, telling us yesterday, he says, you know, we've got to learn to play through adversity. And that's easier said than done.
It's hard to stay upbeat and up-tempo when you've had this kind of performance. And I got to tip my cap to the Broncos on the defensive side because they have been put in harm's way consistently, and they're battling. There is no quit. There is no give up in this prideful defense.
Shaquille Barrett remains in the game. Third down and 1. Shane Ray now goes in for Barrett, and on 3rd and 1, the short pass is going to be intercepted on a deflection. Justin Simmons, and he's going to run it in for the touchdown. No flags on the play. Second interception of the game, and now there is a late flag in the end zone.
Let me see.
It will not affect the interception or score. 65-yard interception return.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So again, a lack of discipline shows on the Dolphins side of things after Justin Simmons with his second interception of the year, a pick 6. And they're going to mark it off. It'll be a 2-point conversion here as the Broncos try to get within a 1-score game. 19-9 the score. And the 2-point attempt. Here is Simeon getting pressure, and he throws it out of the end zone. And good pressure by Cameron Wake. So the 35-year-old veteran charging Simeon. And the score remains Dolphins 19 and Broncos 9.
Let's go back to the interception, Dick, and watch Drake, Kenyon Drake, out of the backfield as Jay Cutler drops off. Freeze that right here. He gets the wheel route early, and he's got this wide open. But Jay Cutler, as we mentioned, he's got a propensity at times to throw it into a team meeting as he rolls up here. Everybody's covered. There's all kinds of defenders, and you see Justin Simmons, the safety who's playing a lot of nickel corner today, tip the ball, come underneath the receiver, keeps his eyes on it, and then he's off to the races. That is an excellent job by a guy playing multiple positions today.
Did you ever get a pick at a team meeting?
Did I ever get a pick in a team meeting? Just, you know, no. Let me just say that.
That wasn't your thing. By the way, the first pick six in Justin Simmons' career.
And that's that defense again, this prideful defense keeping them in this game, giving them opportunities to have success.
And finally capitalizing on a Dolphin turnover, I might add. And after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Stills, will be kicking off at midfield. Brandon McManus.
See if you can pin them back deep. The Dolphins have a lot of guys up, just trying to guard against the potential of an onside kick. Can you pooch it up there and pin them inside the 10, 15-yard line?
You know he can kick it clear out of the end zone, but you're right. They want to pooch it in there. And a flag, delay of the game penalty.
5-yard penalty. Will kick from the 45-yard line.
So they'll move it back 5 yards. Delay of the game call against the Broncos.
Nothing like ruining a little bit of your momentum, right? By having another mistake. This doesn't hurt him. McManus has a huge leg. He's got no issues. He could drive it through the uprights if he intended to. But again, this is one of those situations, classic situations, classic special teams, where you want to pooch that thing and you want to see if you can pin them down deep and have an opportunity to flip field position right now if you're McManus and the kickoff cover team.
Grant and Perry are twin safeties, and they try an onside kick, and the ball is knocked away, and some punches are being thrown now. Catch was made by Marquise Gray, so the Dolphins will have the ball, and then they have to separate the players. It looked like Jamal Carter for Denver was one of them. I'm not sure who was over there on the Miami side.
And I'm shocked because we talked about them, the fact that they had Hans' team out there. So they went with the onside kick. And you'd think they'd learned their lesson last week with the melee that went down against the Oakland Raiders between Aqib Talib, who has not made this trip, and Crabtree, the receiver for the Oakland Raiders. And that's the kind of stuff that just lacks discipline. It shows frustration. It lacks discipline. You've got to eliminate that stuff. You're not a good enough football team to have those kind of mistakes during the course of a game.
Neville Hewitt and Deontrez Mount were two that were closely involved. It'll be a first down at the 39 for the Dolphins, whose lead now is 10. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Good catch made by Thomas for a short gain on first down.
There's Jay Cutler. Get him back into a rhythm, you know, get it outside the ball there. Julius Thomas on the outside. Keep these chains rolling a little bit. A short gain there, but we want to get him back in a rhythm. Don't let him sit in that pocket. And mind you now, this is a tired defense. They just brought one back. So they were on the field defending a drive. They brought one back right back on the football field. And defending a short field once again for about the umpteenth time this afternoon.
Second down and 8. Kenyon Drake, and he'll be knocked back, and it was Von Miller. Von Miller, and a loss of a couple of yards on the play. 3-yard loss.
Von Miller does things that you're just not supposed to do. He puts himself in horrible position here. Watch Von Miller. He's going to slip inside and then come back out. He's one of those guys that'll get you in a bad position. Look at him. That is a bad position, but he's got the athleticism. I'd like to call him gelatinous. You just can't keep your hands on the guy like he's a piece of jello out there. So he goes inside, bounces back, plants his foot, bounces back outside, and makes a play. It's a phenomenal football player. A phenomenal football play by Von Miller.
On 3rd and 11, being chased is Cutler, and he completes it to Stills. And it'll be a Dolphin first down into Denver territory. So Stills, who coughed it up the last time in a fumble, with another 24-yard gain.
Speaking of Von Miller, watch him just plant speed to power. so young. You may not grade out real well if you're young right there. That's a piece of humble pie served in a dirty ashtray. But listen, you may not grade out real well, but at least you got him blocked, even though you blocked him from the ground. Kick your feet up and you hope you go the dying cockroach. You hope he falls over the top of you.
Tough images here, Mark, you're given. Kenyon Drake breaks a tackle, gets inside the 30, racing to the end zone, and Kenyon Drake scores. "42-yard touchdown by Kenyon Drake, the second rushing touchdown of the year by the Dolphins, both by Drake. He had a 66-yarder against Carolina. I was busy thinking of the dirty ashtray and the cockroach, and he got away.
You leave your defense on the field that much, you give them that many short fields to defend, and eventually it is going to collapse.
And Cody Parkey for the point after. And the Dolphins now lead the Broncos 26-9.
Kenyon Drake right here. He's just going to get this inside handoff. Look at the double team point of attack. Ooh, look at that cut. Cut again. Shaking people down. And then he's got the speed to bust it to the outside, past the safety, Darian Stewart. Look at this cut. Just put your foot in the ground. Now go ahead and shake the linebacker right here. Break the tackle and get to the edge. It starts in the middle, goes to the numbers, get to the edge. Look at those cuts. That is quickness and electricity by Kenyon Drake.
And Laramie Tunsil, the second-year left tackle, who was a #1 draft choice with a terrific block. And so Drake, who was carried 19 times for 105 yards, it's a career game for Drake, and a 42-yard touchdown. Drake proving to the Miami Dolphins, who traded Jay Ajayi. They had Damian Williams hurt, so it had to be Drake today, and Drake has delivered big time. Isaiah McKenzie downs it in the end zone for a touchback. Coming up next on Fox, it's America's Game of the Week as Cam Newton and the Panthers take on Drew Brees and the Saints in an NFC South showdown. For other regional action, check your local listings. Both teams are 8-3. They're battling for first place, Mark, in the NFC South.
Two really good football teams built differently. Drew Brees still at, what, 39, whatever he is? For crying out loud, playing great football. Cam Newton back to playing like Cam Newton.
First down on the 25. Simeon's pass, and it's knocked down by Bobby McCain. Well, in the NFC, there are 3 teams in that NFC South that would be in the playoffs at this point, and the Seattle Seahawks and Lions and the rest trying to chase the leaders.
And the Packers right here, if they get there, who knows? Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball again. Maybe he comes back for a little late playoff push.
Can't discount anyone at this point. 2nd and 10. Here comes the pressure on Simeon, picked up nicely by the Broncos. And Simeon is pushed out of bounds by Vincent Taylor, rookie from Oklahoma State, after a short game.
And here's what Miami is telling you right now. They're saying, we don't believe your receivers can beat our corners, even though we've got young corners. Rookie corner out there, second-year corner. We don't believe your receivers can beat them, and we don't believe you can hold up the protection. So the Miami Dolphins are coming with pressure just about every time, walking up linebackers, bringing pressure on a consistent basis.
Thomas and Sanders each without a reception. The top 2 receivers for the Broncos. And the pass incomplete. Anderson, the intended receiver. So 4th down coming up. And the Bronco offense has not been able to engineer a touchdown today. They have a field goal and a touchdown on a pick 6. Riley Dixon punting to Jakeem Grant. Here's Grant. Grant breaks a tackle or two and gets to midfield. Great return by Jakeem Grant of 27 yards.
Special teams, once again, this is a team that's given up 4 returns, make it 5 on a pick. They've given up punt returns, they've given up kickoff returns, they gave up another pick 6 today, and here you go all the way. Take it to the right-hand side, then cut back against the grain, let your blocks develop, break a couple of tackles by Grant. Really nice return, and you get yourself right back to midfield, giving your offense a short field again like it has had through the entirety of the afternoon.
Justin Simmons is the injured player on the field. The Bronco cornerback today with a pick 6 coming out, but once again in the second half, Mark, the Dolphins have played basically in half the field. Their starting field position has been in Denver territory.
It has, and with all the issues that this group has had, shuffling offensive lines and injuries, they've done a good job against an exceptional defense in Denver. Now, Denver is tired, but this group has fought. They have continued to lean on this Broncos defense, and they really are, from an execution standpoint, maybe not the best, but from an effort standpoint, you cannot complain.
Marcus Rios, who is elevated from the practice squad, is in the game in the secondary for the Broncos. And the pass to Stills, incomplete, covered by Roby.
Well, this offensive line has played great, and here's a guy that I have an affinity for right there, Jesse Davis. You know why, Dick?
I know why.
That's a University of Idaho graduate right there. He's a vandal. You know where he went? He went to the Harvard of the Northwest, the University of Idaho. I like to call it Guard U. Look at all the great guards that have come from the University of Idaho, Dick. There's all kinds of them, and Jesse Davis is a big, grinded-out type of guy. Physical at the point of attack. Love Jesse Davis.
And you're one of the guards who have come out of Guard U. Second down and 10. The pitch is to Kenyon Drake. And Drake will have close to a first down.
Okay, you ready? Okay, well, you're a lot taller than me. Try not to look so tall, would you? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Came a tribe from the north, brave and bold, bearing banners of silver and gold. Tried and true to subdue all their foes. Vandals, come on you vandals. Oh man, that was good.
The first time the Fight Song of Idaho's ever played during an NFL game.
Jesse Davis has a friend. Third down and 5. Sonoris Perry is in at running back, and Cutler's pass is knocked down. It looked like Stills was playing defensive back against Bradley Roby. So you talked about Guard U,
right.
Jerry Kramer, the Ice Bowl, U, a great player, 3 Super Bowls, Mike Upati, Jake Scott, and of course Jesse
See
Davis.
that guy right there, Jerry Kramer? Forget about this guy right here. This dude right here, Jerry Kramer. Travesty that he is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We need to get him in because he's one of the greats that has ever played the game. Right there from Guard U. Love you, Jerry. Jerry's a great man. Great man.
Vince Lombardi's era, Hawk kicking. McKenzie is back, and it takes a Dolphin bounce. And inside the 10-yard line, the Broncos will be starting. What a great day for you. Jesse Davis came into this meeting yesterday, saw an Idaho guy, right?
Surprised us in the meeting. And Jesse Davis, you know, he understands the history. He understands that it is Guard U, as we like to joke around and talk about it. But I was serious about Jerry Kramer. Love Jerry Kramer. He's a class individual. One of the great players that has ever played this game. Needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
My only question, Harvard of the West.
Harvard of the West.
Let's review that.
Only the smart kids. I guarantee you, this kid right there, that's a smart kid right there, right? He got in.
Broncos starting from the 9. C.J. Anderson is going to lose some yards and a penalty flag down. Vincent Taylor penetrates, loss of 4 pending the call.
Personal foul, face mask, number 32, offense. That penalty's declined. Second down.
Fullback Andy Janovich declined the penalty, so it'll be.
Vincent Taylor's had a great game. Here he is, and watch the inside penetration here, using the hands, getting back in the backfield. He has been in the backfield for the entirety of the game, and you see C.J. Anderson. Once you have to stop your feet right here, it's over. There is no ability to make a cut. Taylor just back there in the backfield, wreaking havoc, dispensing justice against this offensive line.
Simeon in the end zone, and that's the first catch of the game by Demaryius Thomas, just beyond the 10. Final seconds ticking off here in this third quarter.
And this is a position that we're familiar with, where the Broncos gave up a safety when Matt Paradis snapped it over the head of Trevor Simeon.
And that'll be the last play. That is the end of the third quarter with the score, the Dolphins 26 and the Broncos 9. Begin the fourth quarter here in Miami, and the Dolphins have outscored the Broncos in each of the first three quarters thus far. It'll be 3rd and 8. Broncos are 0 for 10 in third down conversions today. Inside the 5, and it's knocked away by Xavier Howard on the pass intended for Thomas.
And the two most dynamic players on the offense for the Broncos, Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders and Thomas combining for 1 reception today. Sanders has 4 targets. How can the two most dynamic players on your offense not have any production? How can you not go to them and at least force the ball?
Riley Dixon punting from the goal line, and Jakeem Grant is there, and once again the Dolphins will have superb field position. Well, when you combine the most provocative man in sports with the most interesting man in sports, you get opinion that cuts through the hype. Catch Speak for Yourself with Jason Whitlock and Colin Cowherd weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, only on FS1.
I love that show. Both those guys, interesting cats. Always fun to have a conversation with them, even though occasionally, they'll shout you down a little bit.
Well, they can do that too, right?
That's right, but neither of them outbench me, I guarantee you that. So bring it. That's what I have to say.
Here's Simeon, who's 12 for 30 for 130 yards and 2 interceptions. And here's Jay Cutler. And the pitch to Drake. And Drake getting about 3 yards as he had the blocking of Mike Pouncey, the center, in front of him.
How about a little misdirection? Fake it one way, have a center that's athletic enough to get to the edge, and Mike Pouncey just run the ball, and I like Drake right there, right? Get out there, keep the clock running, don't get yourself out of bounds. 26-9, you've got the lead. We want to eat this thing up, get out of here, and start our win streak. That's what you're thinking about if you're a Miami Dolphin.
Drake has 115 yards rushing, including a 42-yard touchdown. Justin Simmons, by the way, who was shaken up on the last series, back in there for the Broncos. And here is Drake getting past the line of scrimmage, has a first down and pushed out of bounds. Good block by Pouncey. A flag is down, however, at midfield.
And it's going to be Von Miller.
Holding, number 51, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second
and it's
down.
Pouncey
who's setting the edge. Von Miller setting the edge and making people reach out to grab. Those are the things that happen. So, this is one of those situations for Miami. Don't give them any hope. Don't give them the opportunity to get back involved in this game. And you can't allow those things to happen. Vaughn on the upside, really creating pressure. Pouncey reaches out, grabs the tackle. Those are the things that happen when you can put pressure on as a defense like the Broncos have been able to do for the majority of the day today.
Second down and 15 after the penalty. Quickly out to Jarvis Landry. Landry into Denver territory. Will be stopped about 4 or 5 yards shy of the first down after picking up 11.
Now remember, this is a Dolphins team last year, started out 0-4, put a streak together, and the next thing you know, they end 9-7 in the playoffs. This is not one. Adam Gase is not like giving up their playoff hopes. They know they are in this thing. And that's what they're talking about. If we just get a little momentum, we have played well on offense and defense at times in the season. We can put it together. We can go on a win streak and push ourselves to the playoffs.
3rd down and 4. And here's Kenyon Drake. And he's not going to get there. He'll be stopped by Von Miller. Actually, they were even better than that. They were 10-6 last year after winning 6 in a row and lost to Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Now, if you're looking at the Dolphins, they have a rematch with the Patriots next week here, and that'll be a primetime game. And they go play 2 games with Buffalo and a game in Kansas City, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. Hey, you have 7 losses. And you say, well, if we run the table, we can be 9-7 and right in the thick of it.
Well, my apologies to you Dolphin fans.
They'll forgive you.
Well, you know, I'm kind of one of those ish guys, like 9-7-ish, you know, 10-6-ish, going for it on 4th down here.
They need 3 yards, Mark. And a timeout called by Denver. Broncos call their first timeout here in the second half. Vance Joseph not pleased. Many players work directly with Nike, Under Armour, and Adidas to design their cleats, while some players and teams work with independent customizers to design cleats for players on the team who opted to participate in the campaign. The Broncos and Dolphins are wearing cleats honoring charities and foundations such as Colorado Children's Hospital, Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and the Boys and Girls Club. Players will be auctioning off their cleats in support of the charities. Great move. Matt Hawk will kick. After the Dolphins looked like they might go for it on 4th down, and what do you think happens? Miami traps Denver inside the 5. Neville Hewitt alertly downs it. It's been the problem for Denver all game, but look at those shoes. And those numbers for Trevor Siemian result in a 25.7 passer rating. Ouch. 7th drive today that the Broncos have started inside their own 15. And the play is blown dead. Another flag.
False start. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Well, now they'll start from the 3. Broncos have a total of 19 yards total offense in the second half today.
That is what we like to call pathetic.
1st down and 13. Here's Anderson, and he is stopped at the 6 by Chase Allen, the middle linebacker. This offense is, well, when you have so many quarterbacks, and this is the 3rd starting quarterback in as many games and as many turnovers as the Broncos have had this year, and the points off of those turnovers, this is the result.
When you start 3 quarterbacks, it means you don't have one.
Siemian on 2nd and 10. Had to get rid of it in a hurry. Was chased by Charles Harris, the number 1 pick for the Dolphins this past year.
And that really is the issue. If it's Brock Osweiler, you see that 53% completion percentage, and when you have to rotate 3 different guys, it means you don't have a legit NFL starting quarterback on your roster. And so this is one of those situations where you're going to start looking, where are we going after this season?
Broncos 0 for 11 on 3rd down conversions, and they need 10 yards. In the end zone. And out of the backfield is Anderson, and Anderson will actually get the 1st down. So Anderson gets the 1st, and Kiko Alonso on the tackle. And the first 3rd down conversion of the day for Denver.
And if I'm Miami, I'm okay. I'm like, I'll trade time of possession. I'll trade the clock running down for a few 1st downs. get out of here with a victory. That's what it's all about.
And off to Anderson. Anderson with a good game. Close to another first down. Stopped just short by T.J. McDonald. So for the first time since 1983, 3 starters in 3 straight games. That's who they are. And it was 1983 was the year that John Elway was drafted and then traded to Denver. And Dan Marino, a legend here, was drafted by the Dolphins. Tip ball and an interception. Xavier Howard on a deflection, and the Dolphins get it back in Bronco territory.
Xavier Howard is a guy that is a young player. He's had tight coverage. The coaches have talked to how tight his coverage has been throughout the entirety of the season. Has not been able to create a turnover, has not been able to get a pick, and now he's got 2 picks, one of them a pick 6 for Xavier Howard. Tip ball, anytime the ball is in the air, you never know what's going to happen.
Jordan Phillips.
He's had a great game, but there is Johnny on the spot in Howard. Tight coverage, comes off his coverage, look, he drives on the ball, plants his foot, and goes and picks it off in the air.
Second interception of the game for Xavier Howard. And the third turnover by the Broncos. Here is Cutler going into the end zone. Touchdown, Kenny Stills! Jay Cutler with his second touchdown pass of the game, and Stills with his 6th touchdown reception of the season, 23 yards. And the Dolphins are pounding it on their former defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph. Cody Parkey adds the 33rd point, and the Dolphins lead the Broncos 33-9. Dolphins headed for a win after 5 straight losses. Stills with the touchdown reception, more than making up for the fumble after a catch earlier in the game. The Dolphins with the most points they've scored this year, 33. And here's the onside kick. And the Dolphins will get it, and they lose it again, and now it's fumbled out of bounds, I believe. So the Dolphins initially had it, and then the ball came loose again. Man on the left is Darren Rizzi, the special teams coach for Miami. Alter on Werner. Right there.
Oh.
Got up and lost it.
That's possession.
The kicking team player legally recovered the ball. He is not able to advance it. Therefore, it will be Miami's ball at the spot of his recovery.
Fortunate for him, right?
It's a dead ball right there. So, and you want to talk about what I say, burying a team.
You said that at the start of the second half.
Once you recover the fumble, it cannot be advanced. So once you have possession, that ball is Miami's ball. There's possession. He's on the ground. You can't return it any further than that. So he is down right there.
The other thing you said, Mark, is that Vance Joseph and Adam Gase are very close friends, but you see as a result of this, that's out the window when you're playing.
Yeah, we're no longer besties right now. This is one of those. It's one of those things you take with you as a coach or as a competitor.
Please set the game clock to 10:21.
You file it away and you say, I can't wait until the tables are turned because I'm going to try to bury you back. But that's what you do. That's this league.
I guess all's fair, right?
All is fair, and Adam Gase gets a fist bump. Like, that's a good call.
Dolphins on their own 48-yard line. Still a lot of time remaining. Less than 5 minutes have elapsed here in the fourth quarter. Jay Cutler getting rushed. And Cutler gets knocked down after he threw the ball. No flag is down. Shelby Harris knocked Cutler down, and now Landry is giving Harris a piece of his mind, and Cutler doesn't quite understand why. No flag was thrown after the ball left his hand, and he was hit.
And a good reason why they're mad. Shelby Harris had a good game. He downs it right there. Can't drive into the quarterback. Continuation. Cutler's like, really? Can I get a flag here? Is that a retaliation hit? What's going on?
What do you think? Of course. 2nd down and 10. This is an edgy game at 33-9 for sure between two teams with big losing streaks going in. Here's Kenyon Drake driving uphill and gets into Bronco territory.
Well, let's go back and look at the touchdown. There's a couple of things that I think are exceptional here. First, Jay Cutler, watch him climb the pocket, avoid the edge rush, climb the pocket, pick up the receiver, and make the throw. And then as you get right here, freeze this right there. You're going to see those eyes were looking in here, and what does that do to this defensive back? You jump, but what you're really running is the out and up. Touchdown on the safety, Justin Simmons, who's converted over to the cornerback position.
3rd down and 6. And Cutler is going to go down. And it was a combination of Zach Kerr and Von Miller. Time for a game break. Checking in now with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. We head to Chicago. In his first start with the Niners, Jimmy Garoppolo finds Trent Taylor for a 33-yard gain, which is going to set up former Bear probably field goal, 24 yards, gives the Niners a 15-14 win. Dick, Mark, and Shannon.
All right, Jimmy Garoppolo in his first start with the 49ers. Meanwhile, 4th down here, and Matt Hawk kicking it away. Isaiah McKenzie on his 4, looking for room, in trouble, loses the ball. Sonoris Perry is there, but it looked like McKenzie had recovered the fumble, but it's a safety in any event. It would have been a score for Miami one way or another. Chase Allen forced the fumble. Sonoris Perry tackled McKenzie in the end zone for the 2nd safety of the game for the Miami Dolphins.
And Isaiah McKenzie has 5 fumbles on the season. 2 lost. That's his 6th fumble, his 5th lost fumble.
Ball was fumbled from the field of play into the end zone. It was recovered by the receiving team for safety.
And that's one of those situations where I love loyalty, Dick. I love it. But how that guy can continue to get opportunities. That's the 6th fumble on the season. And I believe that's the 19th total fumbles. So you're talking about 30%, if my math is correct, and it rarely ever is, but about 30% of all the fumbles were by the Denver Broncos have been by that kid right there, Isaiah McKenzie. And I feel for him. That's tough. But as a coach, you can't let that guy continue to touch the football.
11 points for the Dolphins have come off of either a defensive touchdown or safeties. Howard's return and his pick 6 and the 2 safeties make it a 35-9 game. Safeties are rare in the NFL, but 2 safeties are extremely rare.
I've never seen it before in all the years I've been covering this game and playing this game.
Dolphins getting it back on the free kick. Here is Jakeem Grant. And Grant will be run out of bounds. 8:43 to go in the 4th quarter. We have seen an onside kick by a team leading by a lot. And we have seen 2 safeties in a battle between the Broncos with 7 straight losses and the Dolphins with 5 in a row.
Right, 8 minutes, 43 seconds left on the clock right now. Don't put your quarterback in harm's way. He's coming out of concussion protocol, missed last week's game. You're going to win this football game. You need to get on a roll here. Make sure you keep Jay Cutler protected. This is 2 tight end formations. This is double running back formations. And this is run the ball, eat the clock out. This is 4-minute offense inside of 9 minutes right now.
Meanwhile, kudos for Chase Allen, the undrafted rookie from Southern Illinois, causing the fumble. Sonoris Perry with his first carry of the game, and it's a beauty coming off of concussion protocol himself. and a first down to the 49-yard line, a gain of 12 as we send it down to Shannon.
Well, Dick, Mark, you guys are talking about protecting Jay Cutler. They're going to have to do it without Mike Pouncey. He is on the sideline right now, has a hamstring injury and questionable to return. Certainly the veteran of that line.
He is an all-pro player. Jake Brendel's taken his place. Mike Pouncey has been bothered by a hip injury lately. So there is Brendel as we wind down to 8 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 at the 49 of the Dolphins. And they go to Perry again. And this time Perry will lose a yard.
Let this clock run. Let it run right down to inside 5 seconds before you snap it on the 40-second clock. And get out of here. Because I guarantee you this Broncos defense is proud. They don't like the fact that you went onside kick against them. They want a little vengeance as well.
You ever see an onside kick by a team ahead by so much?
No, and it's one of those things as a player I would look at that like, hey, that's bush league. You know, that's rubbing it in, and I'd be livid if I was this Broncos team.
Hard to believe. I mean, they do have respect for each other, Gase and Joseph, even though they want to beat each other today. Timeout called by Miami, but it's hard to believe with the closeness of the two that they would do such a thing.
Yeah, it is, but sometimes when you're coaching, you lose your mind a little bit.
It'll be 2nd down and 11 after the timeout. Broncos and Dolphins have 2 left. It's 35-9. That's not really a factor of the timeout story. And here is Sonoris Perry, and he stopped at midfield.
And you know how blowouts happen? When you score in unconventional ways. The snap over Trevor Siemian's head, that's a safety. How about a pick 6? Defense starts scoring. This is when routes start to happen. You get the block, punt, special teams breakdown, and then, you know, it just opened up the floodgates. Speaking of special teams, McKenzie, 6th time he's put the ball on the ground. The 3rd time he has lost it. Well, that one he recovered it, but 2 points for the safety there as well, and the route is on.
3rd down and 9 at midfield for Jake Cutler. Getting pressure by Simmons, gets by him, and his pass still's incomplete. And 4th down coming up. So Simmons trying to get to the quarterback to no avail.
Yeah, that's how you put 35 points on. You get complimentary football. You play well on the defensive side. You create turnovers. You get defensive touchdowns, and it leads to offensive production on short fields.
Isaiah McKenzie back at the 10-yard line. Matt Hawk kicking again. Good kick. It'll be inside the 20. And McKenzie with the fair catch. The Dolphins have had the ball 10.5 minutes more than the Denver Broncos. And there is John Elway and Dan Marino, both Hall of Famers, both drafted in this famous 1983 draft, so rich with quarterbacks, Mark.
Yep, one of those guys feeling pretty good about his team right now. One of those guys chomping on sunflower seeds like it's his job. Not happy. Number 7 right there, my longtime teammate with the Denver Broncos, beside himself with the way this team is performing right now.
He won his 2nd and final Super Bowl, and you were part of that too.
Right in this stadium.
Right in this stadium, I know. And you were right together in the end zone. Jamal Charles, when Elway scored, Charles gets stuffed by Lawrence Timmons. So the legendary quarterbacks in the house today. Elway as the general manager of the Broncos, and Dan Marino, who's a consultant to the Dolphins.
And I'm sure Elway feels like he'd like to put that 7 on right now and go in there and bail this team out like he bailed us out so many times over the course of his career. Man, that dude was as cool as a cucumber. He'd walk into the huddle, man. He was the Duke, man. The absolute Duke. You see Dan Marino, there he is right there. And whoa. Dispensing some justice. Sorry, Zach Thomas, but sit down. You got Terrell Davis making moves against the Miami Dolphins. That was a divisional playoff game. There they are, 2 of the great legends of this game in Marino and Elway. And like I said, he'd like to put on that number 7 jersey right there and get back out there and bail his team out.
And number 13 has his name in the Ring of Honor here, of course the Hall of Fame as well. 3rd down and 6. Simeon running for his life inside the 5, and he's going to throw that away. And good pressure that time by Cameron Wake and Vincent Taylor. Game break time with Carissa.
Thank you very much, Nick. We head to Green Bay. Don't look now. First drive of overtime. Aaron Jones is going to win it for the Packers with this 20-yard run. Lions lose to the Ravens today. A tight race in the NFC North. Packers win this one 26-20. Dick, Mark, and Shannon.
All right, Carissa, so the Packers very much alive, and they're still hoping to get Aaron Rodgers back. He has started to practice.
Keep the dream alive, Aaron Rodgers.
Here's the punt by Dixon. Jakeem Grant backpedaling to the 28. And here's Grant. Can he turn the corner? Flag is down. And there's an injured player as well on the field back at the 40-yard line. If one of the Broncos gets hurt.
During the kick, holding number 46, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
And it looks like Jones is shaken up. Joseph Jones. And also another player for Denver. So this is the game summary, 35-9. Bronco mistakes. 2 safeties, 3 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown by Xavier Howard. Block, punt, fumble, lost onside kick. This is a laundry list to say the least. Dolphins have their most points since the 15 season. Wow, what a big game for them.
That right there, Dick,
Yep.
that looks like a season worth of miscues,
That's
not
right.
just a game
And 14
of miscues.
yeah, 14 points off of turnovers. And Jay Cutler, I think, is going to take the rest of the afternoon off. And David Fales will come in. Matt Moore, with various injuries, inactive today. So David Fales, who has thrown 5 passes in his career in one game with the Chicago Bears last year in the finale with the Minnesota Vikings, won the number 3 job and was placed on the practice squad and then was activated. So Fales, who was a teammate of Cutler's in Chicago, will be the quarterback, and I don't think he's going to light it up throwing in this one either.
Right. And Matt Moore, as you mentioned, inactive today. And Jay Cutler, go ahead, done a good job. There's Matt Moore, as you can see, on the sideline. But this is where the Hogs kind of flex their muscle.
You
right?
were one of them.
That's when you say 4-minute offense, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put that backup quarterback in there, and we're going to give you guys a chance to get down and get dirty, get a little nasty, come off the ball, and dispense justice.
How about Cutler getting some justice today? 235 yards, which you saw, and 2 touchdown passes.
Played really well. The 1 interception was spectacular by Chris Harris Jr. Really not his fault.
So Fales, the quarterback. And a first down. And Sonoris Perry, who was also Fales' teammate with the Bears. And, of course, it was Adam Gase with the Bears as well. Big showdown coming up in the NFC South. Battle for first place coming up next. And America's Game of the Week. Panthers and Saints going at it.
I know, and we look at both of those teams and we point out the quarterback with Cam Newton and Drew Brees, but both of these defenses have been exceptional. And I like where Brees and those Saints are right now. I like Kamara, how they're running the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield. I like where the Saints are right now.
I do too. I agree with you. Whoever thought that defense would be the keynote of this team as they started the winning streak. Here's Perry, and Sonoris Perry will be halted shy of the first down by Brandon Marshall with under 4 minutes remaining in the game. 35-9, the Dolphins, and they will break a 5-game losing streak. It was the longest since 2011, and they will go to 5-7 on the season. But the Broncos, the beat goes on for them, Mark. 8 straight losses. And will drop to 3-9 after the 3-1 start.
They're just looking for answers, any answer they can find, and Miami Dolphins just trying to convert here on short yardage.
3rd down and 1, throwing to Devontae Parker, and the pass incomplete. as Roby was battling him step for step. So that will bring up 4th down and 1.
And I sincerely hope that that wasn't a call by Adam Gase, and it was an audible by a guy that doesn't get to play a lot, and he wanted to throw it down the sideline, because that's another one of those situations coupled with the onside kick that as a defense you look at and say, really, that's the way this is going to go down right now.
There'll be a lot of comments about what we saw before on that onside kick. Hawk on a bounce, gets it away, did well to get it away. McKenzie will let it just roll and drop. And we'll be back in 30 seconds after this message from Lowe's. 3:01 on the clock, 35-9. This is good field position for Denver, considering what they had earlier in the game. They're on their own 21-yard line. Out of the backfield, Jamal Charles. And he may have enough for the first down. Stops the clock at 2:55. The Dolphins started the year at 4-2. As you mentioned, they had a rough start last year at 1-4, came back with 6 in a row. So this will be the Dolphins' first victory since their comeback win over the Jets right here. Simeon, and it's caught by Thomas. Second reception of the game. That's right, just 2 for Demaryius Thomas and a first down.
Now let me take you back in history a little bit, Dick. So let me show you something about what the Dolphins have been able to accomplish today. Well, give me a second here right after this play, because you need to see this.
I need history. That's
you
what
need
I need.
some history, my friend.
You're right. First down on the 48 of the Dolphins. Jamal Charles, and picks up about 8. And another penalty flag.
Holding, number 61, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Matt Paradis, the center.
All right, so check this out, Dick, because you're going to love this. 2 safeties in an interception return for a touchdown. First time it's happened since probably the first time you were calling a game in the NFL. November 5th, 1961. What was the first game you called in the NFL?
Well, I think that was the Giant Redskin game you're talking about back in 1961. I'm just going to take a wild guess. Am I close? Am I close?
That I don't know, but your memory is sharper than mine. Yes, you are correct.
First game I ever called was a preseason game between the St. Louis Football Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Football Steelers.
What year was that?
1968. It was a preseason game.
68. So I dated you by a couple of years there, my friend.
I'm not that old, but I mean I remember the 61 game. 2-minute warning here in Miami. Dolphins having a ball right now, leading 35-9. Up next on America's Game of the Week, at stake, first place in the NFC South, Panthers and Saints coming up. Here's Jamal Charles, and Charles close to a first down inside the 40 of the Dolphins. Walt Aikens making the tackle. How satisfying is this game for Jay Cutler, too, of course, played and was traded from the Broncos to the Bears?
Oh, they'll all downplay the fact that it's not that big a deal, but trust me, they're competitors. It is a big deal when you beat your former team.
Here is Sanders, and that's his first catch of the game. Imagine that, Emmanuel Sanders with his first reception.
Here we are, under a minute, 30 seconds left. He gets his first catch of the football game. The most dynamic player on your offense. Inexplicable.
2nd and 4. Short pass, and Sanders again. And Anthony again making the tackle. First down for the Denver Broncos. Broncos with 3-1. Bye weeks normally help teams. Didn't help the Broncos at all. They lost to the Giants at home, and that started what will now be an 8-game losing streak. Again going short to Anderson, and it's Mike Hull with the tackle. And so it'll be the Broncos hosting the Jets next week. A couple of games at Indy, at Washington, and finishing with Kansas City. And then, of course, as you mentioned, thinking of next year, and they're going to get a high draft choice. Simeon taking off, getting the first down and diving to the 10 head first, I might add.
Getting all that yardage.
That should do it. Mistakes by the Broncos, but the Dolphins taking advantage of it, and we have a timeout called by Denver. So the Broncos call a timeout with 11 seconds left, down 35-9.
11 seconds, you've got time to take 2 shots into the end zone. You still have a timeout if you want to throw it short of the goal line right now. But if you're the Dolphins, you're essentially saying, let's keep these guys out of the end zone.
Timeout will be restored.
Akins is the injured player. Dolphins with a rally against the Jets back on October 22nd, snapping the 5-game losing streak. Quickly to Carissa Thompson in L.A.
Well, you mentioned it, Dick. Big game coming up. Eli Manning not starting for the first time since 2004. Geno Smith will take the helm there against the Raiders. And then Cam Newton, the 8-3 Panthers, take on Drew Brees and the 8-3 Saints. Winner of this one takes the top spot in the NFC South. Back to you, Dick, Mark, and Finn.
All right, Carissa, thank you. That's going to be quite a showdown. Wouldn't want to miss this. 11 seconds to go in the game. Broncos still have 1 timeout left, by the way, and the pressure on Simeon, and down he goes. Bobby McCain with a corner blitz, and that will do it. Nope, 3 seconds left.
Second charge timeout,
Denver calls the timeout, so the Broncos call 2 timeouts in the waning seconds.
That's just insult to injury.
Yeah.
Let the misery continue.
I will say this, they're friends, they have great respect. No love lost today between these two.
Absolutely not. And just let this thing end. Mercy reminds me of Braveheart. Just shout mercy.
Second and goal at the 22. Broncos can't stop the clock anymore with 3 seconds to go. And here is Simeon going to fire it away, and that will do it. So for Mark Schlereth and Shannon Spake and our entire crew, Dick Stockton saying so long from Miami. Once again, the final score, the Broncos losing to the Dolphins 35-9. That was the handshake in midfield with the two friends. Coming up next, it's America's Game of the Week right after this.